Welcome to Too Fond of Books. My name is Janelle, and in this video I am going to rank the 15 Agatha Christie books that I read in 2021. Now, as you may or may not know, I am doing a Agatha Christie read-through project where I am reading her books in order of publication, and this year I read 15, so slightly more than one per month. And I am basically I'm only about halfway through. So one of my goals for next year is to pick up the pace a little, and I'm actually going to see how I do with reading at least two Agatha Christie's a month, if not more. I really want to finish this project next year. But today's video is all about ranking the Agatha Christie books that I read this year. And I am going to do it in order so that when I get to number 1, it is my highest ranked book of the year. Okay, so starting at number 15, I gave this 3 stars. So you can tell already right off the hop that I liked all of the books that I read this year by Agatha Christie. A 3 is good. It's a good ranking. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. And so if my lowest ranked book was a 3, yeah. So my lowest ranked book of the year, coming in at number 15, is The Labors of Hercules. This was published in 1947. It's an interconnected collection of short stories, and that's why it's probably the lowest on the list. Short stories aren't my favorite. I did enjoy this book and some of the short stories in it more than others. But that's number 15. Coming in at number 14, and I also gave this one 3 stars. This is Easy to Kill from 1939. This is was also called Murder is Easy. This is no, it's not a standalone. This is a superintendent battle, but he doesn't come in this book until right at the very end. This is one that's set in a village, and I liked it, but I didn't love it. It was fine. I think I just the mystery wasn't, super compelling. Coming in at number 13 is another short story collection. This is The Regatta Mystery from 1940. And this I actually gave 3.75 stars to. It was almost 4 stars. This is a collection that has Hercule Poirot, Parker Pyne, and Miss Marple. And to give it 3.75, I must have really enjoyed some of the stories in here. I can't really remember, but okay. We are now moving into the books that I gave 4 stars to. Coming in at number 12 is The Moving Finger. This was published in 1943. This is a Miss Marple, also set in a village, and this one has poison pen letters at its core. And yeah, this one was fun. I do really like Miss Marple. Coming in at number 11 is Towards Zero from 1944. This is also Superintendent Battle. Yes, this is also Superintendent Battle, and I really liked how she formatted her story, how she framed her story, using this concept of people converging towards zero, that murder isn't the beginning, it's actually the end. Yeah, so I did really like that. All right, coming in at number 10 is Five Little Pigs from 1942. This is a Hercule Poirot. It's also a cold case mystery, which is really interesting. The daughter of a murder victim, her dad was the murder victim, and her mom was convicted of killing him. And she doesn't believe that her mom killed her father, and she's asking Poirot to look into it, and I think it's 16 years later. So yeah, fun idea. Coming in at number 9 is The Patriotic Murders from 1941. This was also called An Overdose of Death. And I believe it was also called 1-2 Buckle My Shoe. Yes. Also called 1-2 Buckle My Shoe. Okay, this is also a Poirot. Poirot goes to the dentist and then his dentist is murdered. Coming in at number 8, Sad Cypress from 1940. This is also a Poirot. This is also essentially a courtroom drama. He comes to the case when a person has already been arrested and is currently on trial for the murder, and he takes another look at the case. Again, as I talk about all of these, isn't it coming through that Agatha Christie was so clever? Like, all of her books were different. She has a different frame for how she told all of her stories. Yeah, I love it. Coming in at number 7 is Sparkling Cyanide from 1945, or Remembered Death. This is a Colonel Race mystery where a person, Rosemary, died almost a year before after drinking a glass of champagne at her birthday party. And then the 6 people who were at that table are invited to another meal to commemorate Rosemary, and then somebody else dies. So, yeah. Coming in at number 6 is N or M from 1941. This is a Tommy and Tuppence, and it's a Tommy and Tuppence that acknowledges World War II. Some of the books that were written during the Second World War acknowledge the war, and some don't, and that makes complete sense to me, because you know, people reading a mystery during wartime may want escape. So I'm totally fine with the fact that sometimes Christie addressed the war and sometimes she didn't. But anyway, this one was a really fun one. Tommy and Tuppence are looking for spies during the war at a guest house somewhere in the south of England, on the coast, I think. Okay, coming in at number 5 is Death Comes at the End from 1944. This is her only historical mystery. It is set in Thebes in Egypt in 2000 BC, so that made it really fun. But what I thought was so great is that at its core, it's a country house mystery. And like kind of one family involved, all set at that house, but she's put it in a historical context, and I just thought it was really fun. Coming in at number 4 is The Hollow from 1946. This is a Poirot, and Poirot is staying in a cottage in the country trying to grow vegetable marrows. He gets invited to a house nearby for lunch, and when he arrives to find a man dead by the swimming pool and a woman standing over him with a gun. And yeah, of course, since he's right on the scene, he investigates. Okay, so those were the books that I gave 4 stars to. We are now hitting 5-star territory. I read 3 Agatha Christie's this year that I gave 5 stars to, that I absolutely adored. And number 3 is The Body in the Library from 1942. This is a Miss Marple, and this one was just great. It was just so much fun, and it was such a good mystery. So in the village of St. Mary Mead, at the big house, we have Colonel and Dolly Bantry, and they wake up one morning to discover a body in their library. And to make it even more confusing, they don't know who this person is. They have never seen them before in their lives. And it was just so great. I love Dolly Bantry. She's such a good character. I also love that the action moved between the village of St. Mary Mead and a coastal town not that far away, to a hotel there. I liked that it went back and forth. It was such a good mystery. Coming in at number 2 is Evil Under the Sun from 1941. This is a Poirot that is set in Devon or Cornwall. And Poirot is on holiday on a little island off the coast, and a woman is found dead on the beach. This one was great. It had such great characters, great setting and atmosphere, and again, another clever mystery. And then, coming in at number 1, my all-time favorite Agatha Christie book that I read this year, and it was a reread for me, definitely 5 stars. If I could give it more than 5 stars, I totally would, and that's And Then There Were None from 1940. Isn't it interesting that my top 3 go 1940, 1941, 1942? I find that fascinating. Isn't that interesting? Okay, I only just made that connection now. Okay, anyway, And Then There Were None. This is the classic Agatha Christie. It's a standalone. 10 strangers get invited out to an island where there is no way on or off the island once they arrive, and then they all start dying. Classic. Classic, and it's so good. The tension in this and the way that Agatha Christie writes the rising tension amongst the people on the island is so, so good. And I love the ending. Okay, so there you have it. Those are the 15 Agatha Christie books that I read this year, ranked. What do you think? Have you read any of them? Would you have ranked them where I ranked them? Have you read And Then There Were None? Is it at the top of your list too? Let's chat Agatha Christie in the comments down below, and I will see you for another video soon. Bye.